Hey, and welcome back to our program. I've noticed if you pick up national papers from the New York Times, USA Today, a cross section of publications, you see the prevalent growing of gambling in this country today. Casino gambling primarily, where boats or freestanding casinos are growing all over the country. Tremendous increase in terms of the numbers of casinos and various types of gambling. Now, down in my home state of Louisiana, we've always had some form of gambling down here. Horse racing has been down here for many years. Casino boats started back in, river boats, if you will, tied to the river, had to be dock based. 15 of them were put in back in 1991, back 1992. Mississippi, our neighboring state, has open casinos, but that's all they have. They don't have horse racing. They don't have dog tracks. They don't have the lottery, anything like that. Various states have approached it different ways. And I understand the appeal of gambling, the quick fix. You pick up the paper and read someone's won the lottery, $500 million. What are the odds of that? 1 in 250 million. But it happens, and it's a dream for a number of people. And within reason, I can see that appeal. I know back when I was going out to try to go to law school out in the West Coast, ended up coming down to New Orleans to Tulane, but I was out in the West Coast some and running track meets out in the West. And several times I went to Las Vegas. The allure of the downtown old Las Vegas, for those of you who've been there, used to gather up the silver dollars. And when I brought those silver dollars home, oh, it was a wonderful tip to leave a silver dollar on the table. Back when I was much, much younger. Then I remember going to Las Vegas in the 80s, and you'd wear a coat and tie to the shows. You'd go into the casino. There'd be Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, all the stars. It was smoke-filled, not good for you, but it was intimate, and you had the sense that it was something special in one location. Now the prevalence is all over America and growing dramatically. In my home state of Louisiana now, there is legislation to allow sports betting to take place, enlarging the number of casinos. Gosh, we must have 1,000 video poker areas, a huge land-based casino down in New Orleans, horse racing, gambling about any place you go, but it's not enough. The appetite is to have more and more. And to some degree, there's a quick fix there in mind. Isn't it interesting that some of your more progressive states in this country that seem to be doing so well with job development, bringing the huge overseas cars to make Mercedes and Toyotas and that kind of thing, don't have casino gambling. Alabama is one that seems to be growing a good bit. So is Georgia. You can look across the country. Texas has decided that's not in their best interest to have gambling in that particular state. I'll share a personal story, and I don't know how you come to grips with how to deal with the problem, but I had a meeting downtown at the state capitol in Baton Rouge here a few weeks ago. I was a little early, had an hour or a half to kill, and really I was just going to curl up and read. Right by the state capitol of all places is a land where there's a casino right on the river. And so I pulled into the parking lot of the casino, and I pulled all over to the front. Now, it was a Friday afternoon around 6 o'clock, and the place was packed. The parking lot was packed. So I just wanted to take a walk. I got out and looked around a little bit. Well, it was interesting, the people going into the casino. Many of the people had on their work uniforms. They'd come straight from work. They had the name tag on. They were obviously working at plants up and down the river. They were lower to middle wage employees that lived from paycheck to paycheck. Now, an awful lot of these people certainly had a wife and children at home. Those kids needed help with their homework. Those kids needed certain supplies. But Friday afternoon, paycheck, that paycheck burning a hole in your pocket, money, money, money. What did they do? They went to the casino. That's where they spent their time at the casino. So I just share this with you. I just don't think that's healthy. I just don't think that's healthy. People that get so addicted to gambling, and you say, well, it's your freedom of choice. Well, when it's out there where the government tax dollar, which is what's happening with these casino boards and these gambling institutions, you know, they run these advertisements continually on television and on radio saying, if you don't play, you can't win. If you want to make that millions and millions of dollars, you got to play. And it's very tempting to people in a tough financial situation to grab onto something like that. I don't think it's healthy. And again, I think you can progress your state in many, many ways without leaning on casino gambling, as we've seen all over this country. Those looking for the quick fix, and I mentioned Louisiana, Mississippi. Isn't it interesting? Those two states are at the very bottom of the barrel in virtually every negative category, the worst in every category. Yet they're relying on casino gambling to be their lifeline, a rope to help them out of a very difficult situation. We can do better than that. I can understand a Las Vegas, maybe an Atlantic City, a few places destination-wise to go to, but having it all over the country, in my opinion, has done much more harm than it's done good. I'll be right back after this message.